Hello there, everyone. Welcome. Due to the latest 1.6 patch that kind of broke Linus, we're going to be putting our saves on hold for a little bit. So we'll be looking at race moments and scenarios probably for the next few days. And we'll be starting here with Fernando's gamble. Now, I will be having a video where it basically shows you how broken the 1.6 Linus is, but that is probably going to be tomorrow. Haven't really gotten it completely done yet, so we're going to be doing some scenarios, some other things in between. And again, I would assume that it's broken. Because if not, then progression is going to become like 22, and we're going to need a ton of restrictions to even make the game kind of fun, which is, of course, very unfortunate. But with that out of the way, let's just jump into it. Fernando's gamble here is probably the most interesting race moment. Fernando Alonso must finish high in second. Lap 54 Monaco, Threat of Rain has seems anxiously checking the weather radars. Alonso chased Verstappen for the lead. Spaniard on hard tyres, Dutchman on one mediums. Both drivers need to make a pit stop, but with rain on the horizon, timing will be crucial. So here we are. Lap 54. It's going to get heavy rain in a minute. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind. The way that the game works is kind of weird in terms of heavy rain here. It says heavy rain in a minute. You'd expect it's going to be more than this, which means that the weather radar in this case is wrong, even though the forecast says it's 100% accurate. Particularly when you load saves. It needs to go a full cycle before it updates for some silly reason, which is also why if you have a race where it's predicted rain within the first lap, the AI will sometimes start on dry tires, on inters or even wets, even if there isn't going to be rain until lap 4. Well, not lap 4, lap 2, lap 3, basically 4 minutes into the race. And I'm pretty sure this is what's going to happen here, to be fair. So what we're going to do here is actually just get in immediately. There's already a little bit of water on track, barely anything though. So what we are going to do is pit Alonso immediately for inters. We're going to be pushing with him. Stroll has already gone on inters. We'll still try and do something with him. But as you can see here, he went before everyone else. He's going to be cooking these tires pretty badly, let's be honest, for that minute. So let's go ahead and just tune him down so he doesn't do that. We're also going to go ahead and toggle the balances for both. And I think we're ready then. Let's see, where actually exactly is Alonso? He's right here. The rain should be within a minute, so basically we have 36 seconds maximum until we get hit by heavy rain. And heavy rain should bring us up to into, this line here. Which could actually be full wets in theory. But I think we're going to go with inters and just try and jump Verstappen. Because overtaking here is a right pain. And even if we're inters here, and when it should be potentially wet tires, we can make something out of it with just being a tad cheeky and, going attack, playing defensively. It is still doable. Now, in terms of Stroll here, he still has a little bit to go on in temp before he really starts degrading the tires, but we're still going to play it kind of safe. We also have other cars pitting with us. 2.4 second pit stop. And as you can see now, the rain is increasing drastically. We're already up to 0.8 there at pit exit, which is really when you want to be on the inters anyways. So we're now actually on the correct tire at the perfect time. So we'll go aggressive here with Stroll 2. Should have tuned him up a tad earlier. But yeah, this is going to be a tad interesting. I'm also going to give the driving clean air comment here. Never mind. We aren't actually close to Verstappen. I thought I'd actually caught up to him already. But yeah, the goal here will of course be to jump in the pits. And looking at our speed here, that should be a no problem. He is pitting right now. We might not actually make it. We shall see. His pit stop is done. He is moving out of the pits here. Alonso is on the main straight. We should see him, yeah, just speedily there. Just barely beating him out. Basically a perfect stop there for us. Stroll here, though, is going to have a bit of a harder time. So, honestly, I think we can actually leave. We can straight up leave Alonso right now where he is. And we'll try and see how high we can get Stroll. That's a bit more of an interesting one. Because Alonso is running out front. We don't go into full overheat until we're 105 degrees. So, Stroll here is actually overheating them massively. Degradation-wise, it's probably not the worst, but I think we'll tune both of them down to aggressive just to be on the safe side here. Because as you can see, we're actually cooking those tires pretty massively here, even though, as I said, Stroll isn't really, you know, Stroll's running behind someone, Alonso isn't, so it should be fine. But I think we'll do it aggressively just to be on the safe side. We'll also go ahead and harvest a little bit here because we did deploy to pull more of a gap and get by Verstappen. Stroll just can't get the brake here to get by Bottas because he's getting backmarked. Yeah, I think we actually have this one in hand now. So basically, it's just getting Stroll up as high as we can. That's going to be kind of the goal here. And other than that, it's basically kind of a free-for-all. Because as I said, there we go, it did change to wet as I expected. But it's not going to be wet for long. And it's just barely going to be wet. So I don't think we're going to see anyone jump onto a wet tire. It just won't be worth it. And as I said, as long as we're ahead of Verstappen here, that is really all that matters. As long as we are ahead of him, nothing will really be a big problem here. Unfortunately, Stroll is once again getting backmarked, and that makes it fall back from Bottas. It's, you know, really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Can't really do anything about it. And with everyone now being on the Inters, I don't think we can do really much for him anyways. So yeah, probably going to be a bit of a shorter video today because of the race moment, but as I said, I am working on a 1.6 video, but the patch notes, there's been a bunch of changes that haven't actually been in the patch notes in terms of durability. For one, they've actually added a new thing here to tires as well, a yellow zone or an orange zone here. That basically tells you time, performance, wear rate is both going up, as you can see. The only thing that overheating really does is just bring down your tire wear. So there's no reason not to push your tires as aggressively as you can. It's actually very, very beneficial. Now, let's see if we can get Stroll past here before we get caught up by the Red Bull Paris. But, well, it's basically Chloe that is the real threat. Like so. But yeah, I don't think we can do anything for Stroll. There's just too many cars that are catching up to him and causing him problems from that perspective. Alonso's degradation here is also very nice, so we're going to speed things up a little bit. Yeah, Stroll can get a move done.
We've got no energy, no energy.
Yeah. Used all the energy to try and get the move done, couldn't pull it off. Yeah, seems like this race mode is basically done. It was interesting to me, but it turns out that it's a bit easier than expected. Just pit lap 1, you've done it. So honestly, they should give you a few more laps to play with before the rain, honestly. Actually make you decide when the rain comes properly. Because of how the engine works with, of course, the rain not showing properly. Which, of course, is going to make people, you know, potentially make bad choices as a result of that. So it's a bit of a missed moment, if you ask me, maybe. They should have gone a little bit more... giving you a little bit more wiggle room. Yeah, you might just need to do another race moment after this one to make up for this, but it's fine. Now, Stroll here just can't get the overtake done in the rain, unfortunately, so we'll just tune down to aggressive. We'll just have to be happy with him being behind. But the fact that he's struggling so much to overtake also does kind of help Alonso here, because Alonso should be perfectly safe. The tire deck now is a little bit higher than anticipated, as you can see. The anticipated tire deck here is attack. We're dipping below the line, so if that happens, I would actually just ask that you tune your car down a little bit to be on the safe side. But we have 6 seconds to Verstappen, so it's not actually a problem. As I said, it's a bit unfortunate for Stroll here. We can't really do much anyways. So we're just going to leave him as is. Verstappen is pushing now. You can actually see it. He's caught up by a full second on that last lap, so could potentially end up with a bit of a fight here. We do have back markers though that are kind of going to be our saving grace and just going to be paying for Verstappen.
Feedback on track condition.
Track has dried up, but we're on the final lap, so doesn't really matter.
Way to drive for Inters.
I wouldn't say it's way too dry for Inters just yet, probably in a little bit. But yeah, we did do that, pull up a victory with Alonso.
Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah, well done, guys.
Couldn't really do anything for Stroll, but that is how it be sometimes.
All over. Fernando Alonso picks up first place.
All credit to the team for the car they put together, but without that incredible...
Again, probably a bit boring here. I thought this was going to be a bit of a more interesting race moment, in my opinion. I thought it was actually going to be like you have to, you know, pick your pit window correctly, but it's literally just get in as soon as possible. You have heavy rain in a minute.
Now, didn't Fernando Alonso...
Honestly, as I said, bit too simple. I would like it if you had like 5 laps to play with before that, so you actually had to pick your moment, particularly because how the rain works in the engine. The rain expectations there, it's at 100%. You'd expect it to start fully raining in 3 laps. Basically, this scenario is designed for you to fail if you trust what the information that game gives to you, which is honestly bad design, which is kind of sad. But it is what it is. We got that first one done. I'll be having a video out on the patch itself probably sometime tomorrow. Again, it's been kind of a weird one in terms of what the patch does, what the patch doesn't do. I'll also have a video on just how easily you can break the game with the new slider settings. I actually really like the what could have been actually the bug settings from a game release, where the sign gave you equal expertise gain across the board, because, well, it slowed you down for one. It also, you could still make specialized part, but you still gain expertise across the board. It slowed you down very nicely. If you really want to have rapid gains, you'd have to focus a little bit into research. Research might actually have been a tad too powerful. So honestly, what I really would like to see is them actually slow the game down a bit more, which is probably a bad thing. But this is, again, I'd just like them to add difficulty sliders. And these difficulty sliders don't need to actually do anything more than change how quickly you develop your car. Let's say that easy is 20% increase in expertise gain. Normal is, you know, blank. If they want to keep the sliders as these are, let them be like this. Hard is, say, you get 20% less expertise across the board in terms of expertise gains. So if you usually get 2% for charge rate, you get the 1.6%, for instance. It just slows the player down a bit, and it should be fairly easy to implement. Then you can go even harder, very easy, 50% increased expertise gain, very hard. 50% less increased expertise gains, but again, those are just my wishes to... Again, it caters to everyone to have difficulties, because then you can do challenges. You know, challenges, have a challenging game for those who are looking for that. For those who are looking for a relaxing experience where they don't have to, you know, try too hard and just want to have fun with a racing game or racing management game, they can choose an easy difficulty, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a single player game. They're supposed to be fun, but everyone has a different definition of fun. Some people enjoy the challenge. Some people have fun with, you know, a more relaxing scenario. And difficulty, just even something as simple as being able to set your difficulty in terms of expertise gains, would be able to give everyone kind of what they want. And also, just to Frontier, if they somehow end up watching this, I'd like for you guys to take into consideration that your feedback forums, the people who are happy with the game in its current state, aren't going to go there and give you game feedback. You need to consider things also from a balanced standpoint. And this is also something that, particularly with your Q&A with 1.6, that I'd like to just take up quickly, but I'll probably make it on video on it later. Your Q&A, if you have one, seem to be focused on, does this thing work? Let's be honest, the sliders work now. They work. Q&A, if the question to Q&A was, does the sliders work now? Can you move the sliders to gain different expertise gains? The answer to that would be yes. That's if you ask that simple question. But Q&A, you need people in your Q&A for this game that actually have some knowledge on balancing and racing, and that can give you the feedback that, yes, the sliders work, but in their current state, you can make a championship-winning car very easily within your first season. We're going back to 22. And that's the thing. Q&A, I feel like we are the Q&A right now, honestly, and that's kind of bad. But yeah, I've been ranting on for way too long. We finished the challenge. Driver reached the podium, passed the challenge, finished position first. Can't complain too much about that. Couldn't really do much for Stroll here, which is what it is. But that's just how it be. We had, of course, Bottas ahead of us. He got on inters. If he wasn't ahead of us and we could have pushed, probably would have a bit of a better chance. But it is what it is. Can't really do much about it. Could, of course, also told him to push earlier. But again, Bottas was kind of a block there. So we'll just have to deal with that as it goes. So there we are. We finished our scenario. We pulled off the victory. As I said, sorry about the rant there. I'm probably going to make another video where I go more in depth on what I mean with that. But yeah, this was the first race moment. We'll be going through them as we are. Because as I said, sliders are broken. Tomorrow we'll be having Williams. I'm doing it with Williams this time around, so I haven't actually played them yet. They're the 7th lowest rated team. They have actually a pretty huge advantage compared to Alfa Romeo, but they'll still be a very good test subject to show you just how quickly you can, with a lower midfield team, beat Red Bull. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.